Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio. Ours is a place where dreams take flight, voices are heard, and stories are shared. This is where cultures meet, connections are formed, and ideas are transformed into action. This is your destination for authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives, and meaningful conversations. We're where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover our world of education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our USA Global TV channel and download our USA Global TV app. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. With heartfelt thanks to our executive producer, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, music scored by Yifei Tang from Cloud Road Music, creative direction by Paul Garcia, and I'm Al Cini, and I'm very proud to be part of the USA Global TV and Radio family. So join us here at USA Global TV and Radio. Make us your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication, or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited. Thank you for being a part of our global community. Let's inspire together.
Brad O'Loughlin here. We're on The Wise Ones on the USA Global TV and Radio Network. Today my guest is Robert J. Moore, a well-known authority on coaching, next level attainment strategies, branding, just an unbelievable number of subjects, master just almost everything you need to be successful in life. Before I bring him up on stage, a real brief introduction to myself. I'm a researcher. I research the human body at the cellular level. Chemically speaking, I look for cause and effect relationships. Treat a cause, fix a problem. Treat symptoms, and you'll always be treating symptoms, and the cause could get worse. That's what I write about. That's what I speak about. Author of several books. I also publish books, published over 50 books for people over the years. And when I'm not doing my other stuff, I host 3 TV shows every Thursday back to back to back. This is the middle of 3. My next show is going to be called Talking Heads, and my topic today is on vagus nerve and longevity. That's enough about me, and let's get Robert J. Moore out here on stage with me, and we will begin today's topic.
Good day, good day. How you doing, Red?
Exceptionally well, as always.
Beautiful. I'm intoxicated off my own exuberance and verbosity. It's high on life, that means.
Robert was telling me he just got back from working out Kung Fu and a couple other things. So how often you go out and work on your personal growth with regard to self-defense energy?
Well, it's 2 weeks. I go out, I do one-on-one with the sensei there. And then I also, the dojo, I go once a week with a family. So I take my son with me, 7-year-old son, when he wants to go. Sometimes he doesn't feel like he wants to be there, but you know, it's a lot of fun. It takes a lot off you. It's strange how you do it in your 50s, just start doing it, right? But as you see, I changed my background into what I needed to have. It used to be a couch back there with all different things on the wall, but now I restructured that wall up top, and so it can hold the weight and hold the balance of things, just like my life, holding the balance of things.
Balance is pretty important. You started out and went into an area that I probably should say none of your peers back then would have thought you would ever be in. How did you?
I've been told by many people I should have been dead.
Yeah. So how did you know you needed to change, and what prompted the change in your early life?
Well, you mind if I just give a short brief on that? The background first.
Go.
Okay, here's the thing. I was 17 years in out of prison, 7 years on the streets. I was working for the bikers and the mafia. And drinking like a fish, doing drugs all the day long, and had nothing to worry about because I had everybody covering my back. Somehow I got trenched in that. Well, the reason why it happened is my dad would always have people over on the weekend. There was always people with bikes. I didn't know they were called bikers back then, but when you look at the situation, I never seen them get mad, angry, or anything. So I just seen them have a good time with the wobbly pops, which I call beer, right? And so I started at 13 years old drinking OV, and Labatt 50, man, it tastes like sandpaper. Both of them did. But you know what? When I let that belch go, it was that feeling I had, invincibility, that nobody could see me now. I could do things. So it gave me the courage, gave me what I wanted to move forward. And I drank for many, many years. today I can honestly say I'm over 20 years clean and sober. And yeah, I'm really happy with that.
Okay, you started getting into coaching. How did that entry level coaching?
Here's the biggest thing when you look at coaching. I mean, I didn't just get into the coaching. When I got clean and sober, I had to go to AANA and all that to learn the inside structure of what was going on with me. When I learned to do that stuff with the 12 steps, I learned that maybe I should go to school. I want to become this or become that. So I went to school with people 15, 20 years junior to my age. They were talking about booze and drugs, but I wanted to focus so badly on being sober and getting through this. So I got my grade 12. Then I went and got my social service worker diploma, my dictionary degree, my BA in psychology, my master's in counseling psychology, harm reduction, mental health crisis. Now, the reason why I got all those, you don't see them on the wall for a reason, is because I didn't do it to impress anybody. I did it because I wanted to find out everything that was going on with the schooling. I wanted to find out why the behavior I was using was intimidating others, or why was I using that behavior to cover up the way I felt? Why was I being the person I was? And that's what allowed me to be able, now I can go around, I could read people like crazy. You wouldn't believe it how much I could read people. So now I utilize all that stuff in businesses to help empower other people. And that's where the coaching finally come in, because people start seeing me. I was a therapist for 15 years, a counselor for 12. So I mean, what happened was it just one person come up asking for help. It was a call, they wanted help. So I started helping them. I said, I kind of like this, but I had the knowledge behind me to do it. There's a separation of being an alcoholic trying to help someone or a person with credentials trying to help someone. There's a fine line there. Some people go overboard.
Okay, so you discovered a passion. You
Yeah.
used a word that is really integral in my brain, and that word is why. That's something that's always been, why does this happen? That's why I'm going into the human body. Why is this, this chemical reaction's there? Okay, well, what causes it to speed up? Why is it doing this? And so that's my passion. That's what I spend a lot of time in. That's what I find enjoyment in. So that why, if you understand it, you can change a lot of things internally and externally. So when I was just reading this morning, actually, doing some preparation for something else, and Arnold Schwarzenegger was talking about when he lost the title of Mr. Universe, and he locked himself in a gym for 3 days and did nothing but work out and sleep. And he refocused his entire mental attitude. He wanted the next year and the year after and the year after. But then people think that, well, he became a movie actor. And I've read back a while back. It says, people don't realize that when I gave up bodybuilding, I spent 5 years learning how to act, taking classes, doing any part I could take with or without credit. He says, when you want to do something, you do what you got to do in order to make it happen.
That's right.
In the next level coaching that you're in now, is that kind of what you're helping people see what they need to do? And
it's their passion. I love helping people with their passion. When people start focusing on money, they basically stay broke because they're chasing money. They're not chasing helping other people. They're getting a bad name. So what you do is you go with your passion, and your passion will allow you to empower other people, enhance their lives. That means you don't need to worry about saying, hey, look at me, look at me. They do the credibility for you now. I've been on stages with all the top people out there that I can think of. Les Brown, I coached Les Brown's daughter for 4 years. Dr. Joe Vitale's ex-wife, I walked her through some stuff too for about a year. There's people that'll come into your life that are just, it blows me away how they reach up to you. It's like the universe just allows it to be happening. I went to a gas station once when I was just becoming somebody, and this guy drove by me and pulled in the gas station. I was pumping my gas. He sat inside, and I guess he paid for my gas for me. And I went in to pay for it, and they said, it's already paid by that guy. So I went outside and said, what's going on here? He goes, listen, Robert J. Moore, he says, I know who you are. He goes, you're a legend in my eyes. He goes, thank you. You saved my life, and I wanted to do this without even letting you know, but now you know. He goes, but then he told me how I helped him out, and that was just doing a video. So, I mean, you guys don't know who you're touching by putting a video out there. Share your passion. I help people with their structure and their foundation. I don't care if you're broke. I don't care if you're 6 figures, 7 figures, 10 figures. The foundation always has a crack in it somewhere. The structure of it needs to be fixed. So the platforms that you're on, you can push them all day long, but if they're not getting anywhere, You got to know what you're doing right or wrong. I like to tell the story. That's why I always tell my story. It's a storytelling process. When you tell the story, people can engage with you and say, look, I felt the same way. Now you're allowing them to feel the emotions. So now they want to work with you.
It's interesting that you're talking about you find out somebody did something because of whatever you did. Yeah, that's very, very, even if if the guy had driven away, you would still be wondering, but it's not the same thing as actually finding out why it happened. And that, for anybody who's helping somebody and you see success, that just goes right into there. And so you mentioned videos, you mentioned courses. I know you're a very prolific writer, course develop. I mean, you have like 250 classes online or something like that.
Yeah, there's 250 classes. I took down what I'm doing is putting them into a place called School, SKOOL. I'm putting a lot of them in there, structuring in there, charging $67 a month, and giving people an option to work with me for $750 a month if they commit for 12 months. If they commit for 6 months, no, that's $500 for 12 months, $750 for 6 months. It's a one-time deal. You know what I mean? Like I did probably Christmas time, I'll end it, and I'll go back to my $7,500 a month.
You just had a book out recently, Reinventing Freedom.
That was made into a documentary. I got 9 awards for that. 9 awards for that documentary. I went across to all the different jails here in Canada, and we were told we're not allowed to do it, but once you have a tour ticket, you're allowed to go in. So what we did was to let everybody go ahead of us, and we let them go first. And then the tour guy was up there, so we just snuck underneath the ropes and took off down the hall and ran off. And we kind of did what we had to do. It was interesting. It was fun. Plus, we have land. And I sat there with the father-in-law's tractor behind me. It's really unique how we did it. It's like a rustic look, but at the same time, it was beautiful. We were outside. We had all the cameras around us, and I really did a good job on it. I really liked it. It's on YouTube if anybody wants to look at it, Reinventing Freedom.
The term Reinventing Freedom, where did that come from?
Well, I was looking at the situation. I mean, you got to reinvent. My freedom was not free. Being in and out of jail, and I thought being out of jail was being free. No, the problem is being out of jail, you're not free because you're still connected with the people you're connected with, and you still have that mentality. I need to impress them. I got to fill that void. What can I do next to get a smile out of them? They look grumpy today. Can I go? Should I go punch this person out that owes them money and make them feel better or something? I got lost in the trap of being a people pleaser, I guess you could say. So when I learned to do stuff for me, and that's why I learned the behaviors and everything with my schooling, that's when I learned, okay, listen, look at the physiology of the face of that person. What are they really feeling? What does that tell you? Look at the body structure of that person. Look at the tone of voice they're using. Look at their emails. What tone are they using in the emails? I learned how to structure that. And that's what allowed me to be a better coach and get out there more and attract the proper people. I've worked with a lot of dangerous people in my life, a lot of different people, man. Wow. I mean, right in the UK, the ex-mob boss down there, I mean, I did his book for him too.
Last year you won Forbes, Legends of Coaching recognition.
Legendary award. Coach. Yeah, that's over here on the other side. This year, so far I've won, there was one I just won, 2025 Canadian Choice Best Business Coach here in Belleville, Ontario, Canada.
You've been in Canada the whole time?
I'm a Canadian. Cold winters and weird summers.
Yeah, I live in Houston, Texas. I love July and August down here.
Houston, Texas, where you got to have rocks on the grass instead of grass on the rocks.
Yeah, but I'm happy. I look out and the highest thing I see in sight's a curb. I'm a happy camper. So, but again,
well, hey, this worked out well. Where I'm at right here, I built this with my own 2 hands. It's soundproof. I'm on my own property. I built it on my property. If you go outside and you look around, it just looks like a regular shed. And I did it that way so the city or nobody can say, hey, you can't do this, you can't do that. I got a camera up here that doesn't even go towards computers. It's a regular Canon M50 camera that I structured it to my box. And then I work out here. I do my Tai Chi and everything else. And I love it. I love it. I mean, it's heated floors and everything.
Before we get a little bit more deeper into next level coaching, I noticed one of the things that you're employing AI.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, automation. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that are looking for assistance. A lot of people can't afford other people to work for them because of the fact that the way the economy is going. So I just looked at, okay, well, listen, how can I do this? How can I do that? So all the postings I post right now, I got about a year's worth of postings being sent out on this time, this time, this time, this time. I structure it to what goes where, when, and how on my LinkedIn page, Facebook, YouTube, all of them. It's all AI oriented. It's all structured by the AI. I just putting out one actually today. I just finished it, a program I have that takes you through assistants. I got 7 different assistants in there. It's called, if you Google it, it's called Next Level AI Team. And what it is the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 structure you through your whole businesses. It's got an agent mode in it. It's got everything going on. At the very end, the bonus number 8, you can build a landing page, and you can stick that landing page up on your website, and it's built for you. All you got to do is put a couple words in there, boom, done. You know what I mean? So it's a lead generator, and a lot of people have taken that course as a test, and man, they were really fascinated. One guy made 6 figures off it.
That is Next Level AI Team. Did I copy that down right?
Is it in this one? I can always put it down there if you want.
Yeah, I don't see it there, but since you mentioned,
well, like I said, I just finished it today too, right?
Okay, so I use AI for my research, but I have about a 2-page prompt that I use because I'm telling AI who they are, what I expect, where I want them to look. So I go into a lot of detail, self-reflection, everything else within the AI. What kind of prompts do you use when you use AI?
First of all, you always got to tell AI who they are. You got to make sure if you're an engineer, if you're acting as a publisher, what would you need to have as a publisher? What would you need structurally to put in there? So, I mean, because otherwise people are using AI just for asking like a doctor or a friend or whatever. They're not getting anywhere. They think, oh, well, hey, give me an answer for this and that. No, you got to let AI know what it is. Like, first of all, I put in the truth zone. I built my AI, my chat GPT in the back end so it doesn't lie to me. So it doesn't give me stuff that's not tangibly proof. I don't want things that are out there just hypothesis. I want the proof. I want to make sure the stuff that I'm putting out there is 3 years in advance. I want to make sure the stuff that's going out there, people are going to enjoy and not come back and say, oh, you said this, you said that. Hey, I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? And that's why I tell my past too. There's one big reason why I tell my past. People can't sit there and say, I'm not working with you because you're an ex-gangster, blah, blah, blah. You've been in jail. You've done this. You can't hold that against me because I told you already.
I know that when I look at AI, even if I ask AI, what causes Alzheimer's? And they'll tell me tau tangles and beta amyloid protein plaques, something. But I say, well, what about this? And they'll say, yeah, you're right. And the thing is, they give you an answer, but it's not a complete answer.
You got to ask the right prompts.
Yeah. Last week I was doing this thing on neuropathy and causes and everything. And they gave me 8 or 9 causes. Okay, fine. That's nice. But I knew that sunlight had a factor in it. So I said, what about this, particular, what do you call it? Infrared. There's 3 different bands of infrared, the lowest level. Anyway, so I asked it that, it comes. So no, just because you get an answer at AI doesn't mean it's the final answer. It just means that's what they are giving you as an answer, but that doesn't mean it's the total answer. And I have to go back several times and say, well, what about uric acid? Does that interfere with? Okay, yes, it does. And so it's interesting. It's a really good research tool, but you got to realize that when it's dumped, that's it. But there's a lot more back there in the shovel that can be dumped back down on top of you. And so you got to keep asking it additional questions to get the full answer. That's my experience.
Yeah, the way I see it, man, if you're talking to someone like you and I, and you want to know a factor behind something, I can't just sit there and say, hey, listen, tell me what my camera looks like. It's a camera. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have the structure or the knowledge of it. So you basically want to do is you want to talk to the person that you're talking to, either ChatGPT or whoever it is. You want to be very fine on the question. You want to be very upfront with it. Don't just be generic. If you want the right answer, put a prompt in there proper. If you have to Google it to find out, you can in order to get there. Or you can just keep asking ChatGPT, how do I ask this for this what I'm looking for? And then you could actually put that back in there and it'll actually answer you.
Yeah. We're going to take a commercial break here for about a minute and a half. I'll be back. I'd like to go down the road of self-esteem and how that affects your success. So that would be the area I want to go into as soon as we get back. Let's go ahead and do our commercial break, and we'll be back very shortly.
USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents Steve Klein Art at steveklein.art.
My name is Steve Klein, born Manchester, England, 1953. My quest in my lifetime is to create artwork from my soul and the deepness within my wildest dreams and fantasies. In 2012, my heart stopped when I was given too much anesthetic for a minor knee operation, and this near-death experience took me to another multi-dimensional world, an out-of-body experience, and I was given the gift of being blessed by an overwhelming, burning passion to become, for the very first time in my life, an artist with an eternal, passionate desire to bring my art, which I've named multi-dimensional, subliminal, freeform art, to the world, as only 3% recover from what I experienced, and now in my golden years want to release my cosmic, vital energy through my art to allow people to be a part of my cosmic dance.
To learn more, email roccogoodwine@gmail.com. For VIP pricing, mention USA Global TV and Radio.
Hi, Red O'Loughlin here. We're on Wise Ones on the USA Global TV and Radio Network. My guest today is Robert J. Moore, Next Level Coaching. Robert, I've been in various networking groups and professional growth and this and that. And I remember a while back, I was real impressed with this guy. And he was up there and speaking. And afterwards, a couple of people were talking to the side. I'm over there, I'm kind of listening. And they were saying, this guy would really go far, but he has a self-esteem problem. How does self-esteem affect our personal success?
Well, self-esteem leads into bragging, right? I mean, you're okay to brag if you're not overusing it. Like, I mean, just like today, I said, hey, listen, I've been on stages with most people, blah, blah, blah. I did this, I did that. Well, that's not really going in and saying, look at me, look at me. That's just being interviewed and allowing you that know that, hey, this is where I've been or where I'm at. I mean, I still got the Guinness World Records behind me, the Forbes, and working for Forbes, writing for Forbes. I haven't talked about any of that stuff. But when you look at self-esteem, it's two different ways. It's either bragging rights, or the self-esteem is the fact that you don't feel that you're going to become anybody. I mean, it could hurt you or positively bring you somewhere. It's either, the worst part is with self-esteem is it could be look at me, or the depression side of it. You know what I mean? So self-esteem could drag you down or bring you up. You just got to find the fine tune where you're comfortable. A lot of people aren't comfortable on stage.
When you're looking at a person, you're starting their coaching deal, is that a factor that you look at? You interpret a lot of things about a person by the way they stand, speak, write. Is that a factor at all?
Well, a lot of times when I work with people, I try and get to know as a friendship first, like kind of like you and I are talking right now. And by the time I'm doing that, I know psychology really, really well. So the physiology of the expressions of the face, tone, body language, and everything else, I study them. And I know when I'm hitting that nerve, and I know when to back off and go around and ask the question a different way and make them feel more comfortable. I know how to bring myself down to their comfort zone. So if they're a mechanic, I'm not going to talk about artwork. If they're a mechanic, I'm going to talk about, listen, if you put the battery this, blah, 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 and kind of use an example that they would know, they can answer it. Now they're feeling a little bit more comfortable, because when someone comes to you, they're uncomfortable. And I always tell people, listen, even when they were drinking before, I was a drug and alcohol counselor. They said, well, listen, let me quit drinking first and I'll come see you. I said, I don't care if you drink or not. Just don't drink when you're in my office. They said, why? I said, this is the weirdest thing. I'm coming for you to quit drinking. I said, but it's not the problem. The problem's within. I want the core issue. I don't want the problem. I don't want that cover-up stuff. Just don't drink when you come see me.
So just like I'm looking at root cause of something that causes Alzheimer's.
Right.
You got it. But again, there might be 7 different root causes. You fix one, those other 6 are still going down the parallel tracks toward destruction down the road.
People just don't understand when it comes to Alzheimer's, dementia, and that. I mean, it's diabetes 3 for crying out loud. They need to understand that. They look at it as something worse than that, but you can actually fix it. If you do the right thing, live a lot healthier. You're not going to cure it, but you're going to fix it.
Yeah. My dad used to be, for whatever reason, just absolutely deathly afraid of death. And I'm saying, Dad, you don't want somebody changing your diaper for the last 10 years of your life. There are a lot of things in there that are worse. If you have Alzheimer's, you don't know where you're at for a couple of years. That's not near as bad as something else. So there's something else that people don't really understand that could happen to you.
You know what? I'll tell you right now, a lot of things can happen that you wouldn't expect it. For instance, in 2001, my brother Thomas died, drugs and alcohol. In 2015, my brother Reagan died, drugs and alcohol. 2021, my brother Kevin died, and that was drugs and alcohol. I didn't expect that. I did not see that coming. And I'm clean sober 20 years. So figure, 2 of my brothers, they were looking up to me, but they were hating me because they couldn't come party with me no more. But I said, listen, if you go in the barber's chair, eventually you're going to get a haircut. If you go into a bar, eventually you're going to be drinking. It's common sense. I said, where do you want to lead your life? Show me 5 of your top friends and I'll show you your future.
It's interesting. I've heard that expression for quite a different way. Anyway, your next level coaching, who would really and truly be an ideal client and a non-ideal client?
Well, the people that I work with almost anybody. I published over 500 and some odd books. That was my last profession I was doing. I was doing publishing and that. But I don't do the publishing no more. But what I do is I enhance people for credibility purposes, for their business, their structure, their foundation, their passion. I get them out there more, get them more credibility. Sometimes I get them on stage with Les Brown. Can't do Bob Proctor anymore, bless his soul. All these people that I know get contact with and get to know, because what I used to do is I used to draw people in when I did the books. I had a famous person do the forward, and now they're coming in to pay you to do the book, do a chapter in a book, because they're invested in this person, but they never got to meet the person. So in order to meet the person, they come to me and they work with me one-on-one and say, listen, I'd like to meet the person. So now I get the person down there to speak on my stage at a live event, and that person comes to share stage with them for 5 minutes. And now they can say they've been on stage with that person and go from there. So basically the person I work with is the one that wants to move forward, the one that wants to grow, the one that was tired of being stagnant, has tried everything they could. So I don't care if you're living on the street. If you're tired of living on the street, there's a reason why you're living on the street. Let's move forward to get you off that. Look at your foundation, look at your structure, look at the way you're running your business. Put some AI in there too, because that's becoming. 5 years are going to tell who's in, who's out.
A number of years ago, I was working with an MLM company, and they had a training here in Houston on a Saturday, and I went to it, and it just kind of shocked me because I had never been in training for personal self-growth. Everything I'd ever done in my military, my corporate, everything that I had done was always for the benefit of the company, how to be a better supervisor, better budget, or whatever. But it was never about how to become a better person. And all of a sudden, I got inundated with about 8 hours of personal development. And it shocked me so much that I ended up literally a book a week for the next 3.5 years. I ended up reading on any aspect of self-improvement that I could do, because it was an area that, wow, I didn't know that. The first book I ever read was Dr. Maxwell Maltz's Psycho-Cybernetics. And then I wrote a book very similar on the subconscious mind as to how that worked. And it's interesting. Most of us have no concept about how our subconscious mind works. And as a result, that's controlling everything. You're talking about, you're in the bar. Well, there's a reason why you're there, or you're in the bar. Anyway, we still have something up here that's holding us, but we don't know how to talk to it. What do you do? Okay, let me see if I can re-ask the question. what aspect of the subconscious mind do you help people understand to help them get their way down the road the right way?
Well, you're looking at subconscious mind, Sigmund Freud, or you can look at Rogers, hippocampus of the brain, long-term memory, or the shortcomings, everything else. But here's the biggest problem is everybody has something blocking them. Everybody has something blocking them from moving forward. That's the biggest problem is they go to find out this. They want to find out how to get bigger. They end up going to this event, this event, this event, this event. Now all they did was confuse the living hell out of themselves. Really, all you need to do is figure out where you want to be. I always taught my kids, listen, you want to be a doctor, PhD. Well, go to where you want to graduate from. Stop going from the bottom up. Look from the top. Look from the top. Look where the PhD level is. Now look at the prerequisites to get into it. Because all the time when we go from the bottom up, the prerequisites don't fit. Now we got to take extra classes and we're going longer route. So look from the top bottom. So if you want to be a millionaire, look at chapter 2 of Napoleon Hill and sit there and find out what is going on with it, because it talks about you have to sacrifice something and put a date to something. You put a date to something. What happens is you have to structure yourself to earn that date and make. So say hypothetically, say I want 100,000 by May 29th. No problem. So what am I going to do? What am I going to do to make that happen? Am I going to go on more stages, more emails, more? What am I going to do? More podcasting, more structure. What am I going to do to get there? I have to sacrifice something in order to do it. So if I have to put the extra work out there and commit myself to it, then that's what I got to do. So the people I want to work with people that want to move forward. I don't want people that are just going to. I've had so many people pay me money and say, "Oh, I'm working with Robert J. Moore," but I never see them. They don't make an appointment. So they just pay me. So I tell them, don't bother doing that. And the thing is with me, I'm going to tell you straight forward, I care more about your business than I do your emotions. I don't give a shit about your emotions because you know what? You need to be told. I was told I didn't get here by doing nothing. I could work on your emotions later because I was a therapist, but I care more about your business.
What percentage of your clients are male and female, just out of curiosity?
Both.
Okay, about 50-50.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I mean, there's no equal ending in between it. I work with whoever. I've had some of my clients. They've reached up to Forbes, USA Today, Gary Vee. They were in an article with Gary Vee before. It was really fascinating because this lady she was in the Croatian war back in the day, and she didn't think that story actually mattered before. And I told her my story. When she got to learn my story, she's actually in my documentary too. She says, I learned that I could tell my story and it mattered to people. And I said, well, you can't hold that, in. I said, you got to let people know what you've gone through so they can relate to you. I said, you can't just sit there and say, oh, business, 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 and structure yourself that way. You got to put a storytelling in there.
That storytelling is pretty important.
It is. I mean, you did the same thing yourself with talking about what you do basically and how you got there, right? So it was good.
When you're writing a class or whatever, do you incorporate your stories in there, or is just here's the facts?
Every time, all the time. I always tell people parts of my story are different. It's put it this way, if I go to an event and I go there and I'm 2 hours earlier, I usually stand back. I talk to a certain amount of people. Here's the thing. There's a cure here to do because I always study people. I study a lot. There's 200 people in the room, even at my Guinness World Record. I'd study them. They'd come up to me. They talk to me some way. They talk to me in a different way, like they look up to me or something. Like, they put their back up. They put their voice on the proper thing. They're very interested. They're intrigued about what's going on. They'll check this out. They'll go talk to the person over here, and they're nice and loose. They're cussing and swearing. They're talking, oh, I did this and I did this, but they don't do that in front of me. So basically, when I get up on stage, when I'm watching all these people, I know what to talk about in my story now to help those people out.
You're connecting literally on their level with the problem they have that you have a solution for.
That's right. You have a solution to a problem. You got to tell people like, hey, I got a solution to your problem. Give them examples. You know what? You're going to do a lot better than sit there and say, listen, do this, do that. Nobody wants to hear that. They want educational purposes.
And it doesn't matter whether you're male or female or whether you're German or Japanese. Problems are problems. They keep people awake at night.
We all bleed the same too.
Say again?
We all bleed the same too.
Yeah. The solution business is something that's people, hey, okay, you pick up the phone, it's a salesman, you know, they're there. There's that part of our brain that puts up that hold. I don't want to go. Do you find that difficult to work around? I know you have the skill and the talent to really work around it, but is that such
There's a
something?
lot of people that have blockages. I mean, I'm just going to say it this way. There's a lot of people that have blockages. Some of them, the odd person that I can't work with. I mean, you know, it's funny because not everybody's fit for everybody. So someone comes to me and they're working with me and I might be a good fit for them, but they might be not a good fit for me or something, or vice versa. And maybe they feel boxed in. Maybe they feel like they're not ready to open up to a person like me, or maybe they're intimidated by me, or I'm intimidated by them or something, which I normally don't do because I'm trying to work with someone no matter who they are. But I mean, I know how to deal with people. It's just, if they're not ready, I can't do nothing. If they're not compatible, I can't do nothing because they're going to have that blockage. So you got to build the friendship first. If they're feeling that way on both sides, you got to build that friendship first, get to know them a bit more at a friendship level, bring it to the professional level, and then you can start working with the people.
Okay, so the relationship is one of the things you work on first.
I can't just walk right in and say, okay, what's your situation? Let's deal with it. Oh, I'm dealing with this. Well, what's the backstory of that? Why are you there in the first place?
How many countries in the world have you have clients? I would say 100 plus countries.
Probably, yeah. I mean, I've been here 3 o'clock in the morning talking to a guy in Australia when it was 1 o'clock in the afternoon there.
Because it's interesting how the solution business works everywhere, but sometimes it doesn't always work on your time schedule.
I mean, yeah, that's so true. I mean, even Douglas Ramirez, okay, we all know him around. He's a top developer, and he lives in Canada, the other side of Canada there. He's asked me to oversee the fact that he get the Guinness World Record. So I'm the spokesperson on behalf of him. So we don't really communicate. I just have to make sure he gets the situation, and his son is who I communicate with. You know, it just depends who you are. It depends who you are and what you're doing. I mean, like his son was thinking, oh, no, it's not moving fast enough. Well, it's not going to move fast enough either. This is Guinness World Record. They're not the way you think they are. I know how to get in between the lines, and they only got 3 chances. If you don't do it, they cut you loose.
We're at the end of the show, Robert. How do people get in touch with you? What do you have going on right now that you need to share with the world?
You know, if you got time to look it up, Robert J. Moore. I'm all over the place. I'm in Belleville, Ontario. You could Google that or give it to ChatGPT. It knows me quite well. You can look on Facebook. You can look on LinkedIn. You can look at all these different places. But listen, I got a new program out just today. $67 for a lifetime. I mean, this will bring your business. You don't even have to hire me, but you can if you wish afterwards. It's a program that will help structure your business from beginning to end. It doesn't matter what level you are. Talk to the AI. Got it set up with ChatGPT. It's called Next Level AI Team. You can Google that and guaranteed find it. You know what? I'm working on another one, which is the account settler. Which right now it's going to be done, I think, next week, where it just does automation and weans people in and out, structures it, and puts them on your calendar if they think they're a good fit.
Okay, for our audio audience, it's Robert, just like you normally spell it, J. Moore, Moore. Primary website is nextlevelcoachinginc.com. Nothing there to say there's an unusual spelling. So nextlevelcoachinginc.com. Robert, thank you so very much. I think we're scheduled again next month on a different program.
Yes.
I really and truly learned a lot today. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. And I'll look forward to our next time together. And I'll make sure we coordinate our time zones better.
Yeah, I'm the one that gets confused, not you. I'm the one that gets confused because I work with people all over the place and they're telling me all these different times. It's like, oh my God. Well, I'm so busy. It's half time I don't look up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set my AI up on my phone because it'll structure me the time zones and that, I think.
Yeah. Well, the lesson I learned from our conversation earlier is I need to have more clarity in that particular area. CDT doesn't mean CDT to everybody. So I will take care of that. That's my action item. So anyway,
no worries.
Yeah. Robert, thank you again. Appreciate it very, very much.
It's honored to be here. It's an honor to be here, buddy.
Okay.
See you later, Red.
Okay. Red O'Loughlin here. We're concluding The Wise Ones with Robert J. Moore, Next Level Coaching. And my next show starts literally in about 20 minutes. It's called Talking Heads. I'll be talking today about the vagus nerve and longevity. How do you reset it? How do you restore it? How do you revitalize it? It's a super highway to just literally all the communications between your organs in your body and your brain. So please join me if you can. If you cannot, go to YouTube, go to USA Global TV and radio, and look at our archives. So till then, take care. Bye, y'all.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USA Global TV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Music by Johnny Dyes. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative Direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.